Breaking news out of the rugby league world. The World Cup Challenge is back in 2026. It's just been announced that the World Cup Challenge will be played in England at Hull Kingston Rovers Stadium. Brisbane Broncos will fly over in February for it. Kicks off on February 20th. So we'll all look forward to that coming up. For those who don't really follow rugby league or are new to rugby league, the World Club Challenge is the winners of the English Super League. So Hull Kingston Rovers, they beat Wigan in this year's grand final. And in the NRL, the winners were Brisbane Broncos, and they beat the Melbourne Storm. So usually the winners of the English Super League play the winners of the NRL. This used to be an annual event, but throughout the years, it hasn't always been played every year due to COVID or teams not wanting to fly around the world to play the games. But many teams have been involved throughout the years. The Sydney Roosters, they hold the record. Have got 100% record. Every game they've played in the World Cup Challenge, they've won it. They've won it 5 times. In 1976, in 2003, 2014, 2019 and 2020 as well. So they hold the record, 100% record. The Wigan Warriors, they've been in 9 of World Cup Challenges, but they've only won 5 out of the 9. In 1987, 1991, 1994, 2017 and 2024, recently against the Penrith Panthers in England. The Brisbane Broncos, the team playing in next year's competition, they've only won it twice. They won it in 1992 and they also won it in 1997. They also played in 3 other World Club Challenges. They lost in 1994, 2001, and their last appearance in the World Club Challenge in 2007 against St Helens in England. So they'll be looking to win next year's competition. I'm sure they'll be very, very confident going over to England. Other teams that have been involved have only won it once, like Widnes in 1989, St George Illawarra in 2011, South Sydney Rabbitohs, they won the NRL in 2014, and then they played over in England against St Helens, and they won convincingly in 2015 and won their first World Club Challenge. The Cowboys, they played over in England also, did very, very well, won that game convincingly against the Leeds Rhinos in 2016. Leeds Rhinos, they've also been involved in a lot of World Club Challenges against Manly, Melbourne, the Bankstown Bulldogs. They won it in 2005, 2008, 2012. And St Helens, again, another side that have been involved in a lot of World Cup Challenges throughout the years. And they won it 3 times, 2001, 2007, and recently against the Penrith Panthers, 2023. Not many sides come over to Australia, really, and win. Usually the English sides that come over to play in Australia in the World Cup Challenge get absolutely pumped. So when Saints beat Penrith, everybody was kind of shocked, but a lot of people were expecting Saints to get absolutely pumped, but they grinded up a win against Penrith by a late drop goal, so they won that in 2023. Penrith, feel a bit sorry for them. Although they have won the NRL multiple times, every time they've played in the World Club Challenge, they've lost. They've played in 4. They played in 1991, 2004, 2023 when they lost to St Helens, 2024 when they recently went over to England, and they lost that one to Wigan as well. So Penrith Panther fans, will be looking to win another NRL Premiership and also get back to playing in the World Club Challenge, and hopefully next game they play and they can win. The World Club Challenge did get cancelled this year because the Penrith Panthers, they were out in Vegas, and so were the Wigan Warriors, so they didn't really get a chance to play in the World Club Challenge, so both sides would have been a bit disappointed, but at the end of the day, that's just what happens in rugby league sometimes with the schedules. I know Peter V'landys has said that he would have liked to see the World Cup Challenge played in Vegas, but it didn't really happen. We might see it in the future, we just don't know. But Peter V'landys is always looking to expand the game, rugby league, and play games abroad. There's rumours that he is going to take rugby league to other places in America down the track, so it should be very, very interesting to see what the future looks like for the World Club Challenge. Let me know what you guys think. Should we be playing World Club Challenge on a more regular basis? Should we kind of do a World Club Challenge series? Or should we just scrap the World Cup Challenge altogether and just not worry about it? Because it seems to be a debate every year, because the Australian teams don't really want to come and play in England, in the winter time. And not always the Super League clubs want to come out to Australia because they usually get pumped when they come. So I really want to know your guys' opinion on the World Cup Challenge. Really, do you think it's worth the time, really? Because I know a lot of teams want to prep for the NRL season, and so do the Super League teams, really. So it should be very, very interesting to see what happens next year. Brisbane Bronco fans, let me know if you're going to go over for the World Cup Challenge or whether you'll just sit at home and watch it on the TV. I know Hull Kingston Rover fans, they'll be snapping up tickets straight away. It will be a sellout as soon as tickets go on sale, because it's Hull Kingston Rovers' first ever World Club Challenge, and they've only won the Super League once or so since Super League started. So they will be very, very excited to get their hands on tickets to next year's World Cup Challenge in 2026. That's all for me. Guys, let me know in your comments below what the future should be for World Cup Challenge. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and also check out our Facebook page, and also check us out on Instagram also. Thanks for your time again, and I'll see you next time.